If you still remember how the Toronto real estate market was almost at a standstill in January, then what about the signals in February? Well, the market didn't get any worse, but it's still a long way from a real recovery. Let's first look at the surface numbers. There were nearly 3,900 transactions. That's quite a rebound from January's 3,082 transactions, but it's still 6% fewer people compared to last year. The average price is $1,009,000, back above the million mark. Month over month, that's a 3.6% increase, but it's still 7% lower than the same period last year. So the recovery in both volume and price means that February, while not a full trend reversal, at least shows a slight warming. There were 10,700 new listings in February, which is almost the same level as January. But compared to last year, that's a sharp drop of 18%. With the recovery in transactions, market inventory has shortened from 5.8 months last month to 5 months now. People keep saying that a wave of mortgage renewals is coming, that homeowners won't be able to hold on much longer, and that there will be a massive wave of forced sales and panic selling. If that were really the case, here's what you'd expect to see. New listings would suddenly surge, and the numbers would stay high for several months. But in reality, listings haven't spun out of control, and sellers haven't started panic selling en masse. So, is the pressure actually rising? Is the issue of mortgage defaults really that serious? First, let's clarify what a mortgage default actually means, so we don't get scared by sensational headlines. It's a lagging indicator. It usually refers to mortgage payments that are overdue, like when payments haven't been made for over 90 days. Even when people are under pressure, they'll often cut back on spending first, use their savings, or try to negotiate with the bank. They might adjust their repayment plans and so on, but that doesn't necessarily mean they'll immediately show up as a formal default in the statistics. After the pandemic, this rate was very low, but starting in 2023, it began to rise, and in 2024, it's clearly trending upward. This shows that the pressure from overdue payments is really accumulating. When we look at the absolute value of the default and overdue rates, according to the mortgage delinquency rate for the Toronto CMA provided by Equifax and published by CMHC. Before the pandemic, this line stayed very low for a long time, and the latest data for the second quarter of 2025 has reached 0.24%. So the pressure is indeed rising, but the absolute value is still at a fraction of a percent. So has this level reached the warning line yet? The CMHC report points out that, in Canadian history, even when facing economic shocks, the mortgage delinquency rate has remained very low over the long term. If in the future, we see the delinquency rate continue to climb and approach the historical high range of around 0.5%, the market will get nervous. So the current situation is that, yes, the pressure is rising, but we're still quite far from a wave of defaults or a financial crisis-style collapse. This also explains why, even though sales are so low and prices are so weak, there hasn't been a continuous surge in new listings. Because most people are still holding on, still negotiating, and still able to manage. So they can choose not to sell. The market feels more like it's being suppressed, but it hasn't been broken through. For buyers who are looking for a home to actually live in, especially those with real needs, the macro data might look bleak, but opportunities always show up locally first. If you're focused on good neighborhoods, good school districts, and family homes, don't just wait for the news to confirm things. Get out there, check out some listings, test the prices, and negotiate with the sellers. Because the area you're interested in might start moving before the rest of the market does. And for sellers who absolutely have to sell due to family or financial reasons, now isn't the time to dwell on the previous peak prices. Your listing price needs to match the most recent sale prices of similar units nearby. Otherwise, the longer you wait and keep lowering your price, you usually don't end up selling for more. You just sell later, and it hurts even more. I'm Priest, your trusted choice for first-time buying, selling, or upgrading your home in the Greater Toronto Area. See you in the next video.